Once again, it seems through the cycle of history that hard times have once again made tough men.
May God sakes, this is Isaiah 6:8 action. Blackjack, I need a safe house and exhibition time now. Full send, over.
In recent days, we've lost many across our country, including a couple of giants in our community. When we lost Charlie Kirk, this was a throat punch to our country, as Charlie was a non-combatant. He served his God and his country and his family on a battlefield of ideas where no bullet should ever fly, none of which should have involved being assassinated. May God rest his soul and be with Erica and his children. And then the Warfighter Nation took a pretty deep hit with the loss of our own Boone Cutler, creator of the Spartan Pledge. It is truly incalculable how many lives he contributed to saving. And then I learned just this weekend of Ray Cash, an epic warfighter who served in Operation Gothic Serpent in Mogadishu with the 3rd Ranger Battalion, succumbed to his battle with cancer just this weekend. Another legend is with the Lord. Not gonna lie, my heart's been pretty heavy these recent weeks. So much loss lately, it seems. But we can't neglect to count our blessings and know where our true strength comes from. Men, it's time to rise. And to those young warfighters of Gen Z, hear me now, because this guy knows that the future is yours and that of our grandchildren, but only if you're guided properly. So please hear me now and hear the words that were not bestowed upon me at your age. For you younger men, your youth is a weapon. Wield it wisely, for none of us know how much time we truly have. With youth, wielded wisely, matched with faith and wisdom, becomes a force multiplier like you cannot imagine. If you allow him, God will take you places you could not have possibly dreamed of, just like he did for me. Now let's get into it. Forward march. Fear is the oldest weapon in our enemy's arsenal. Before he ever lifts a sword against you, he tries to shatter your mind. Before he ever has a chance to strike your body, he whispers into your soul. And most men, they break there, not on the battlefield, but in their own imagination. I once thought I broke at a certain point, but it turned out to be my rebirth. I realized what my purpose is, and so can you. I am not most men, and neither are you. The Lord has chosen you. Now hear me, because I've learned this truth. The moment you carry the shield of the Almighty, fear loses its voice. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? The answer is no one. Not the armies that surround me, not the giants that tower over me, not even the whispers of betrayal from those closest to me. I've never once in my life been a victim, because from the moment of my birth, I've been on a mission from the Most High, and so have you. I fear no man, for God has already walked ahead of me into every battle. Do you know what that means, to fight under his shield? It means that every arrow you face must first pass through his permission. It means that every blade raised against you cannot land without his command. It means that no matter how loud hell roars, heaven has already decided your fate. And once you know that, once that burns in your bones, fear dies, not because the battlefield is safe, but because the battlefield belongs to the Lord. The enemy thrives on intimidation. He counts on you trembling at shadows, whispers, and retreating at the first hint of fear or sight of blood. But when he sees a soldier who does not flinch, a soldier whose eyes burn with the knowledge that God himself is his shield, he panics, because nothing terrifies darkness more than a man who's killed fear in his own heart. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Nothing fears darkness more than a man who's killed fear in his own heart. Fearless men move differently. They walk into storms as though they were clear skies. They face giants as though they were children. They stand alone as if they commanded an army, not because of fearlessness, but because they know that He walks beside them. Not if, but because you have been chosen. You must understand this fear is the only prison that can keep you from your destiny. And the only key is trust. Trust in the strength of His love. Though I may be wounded, I cannot be pierced. I fear no man, for the Lord is my shield, and a man under God's shield is untouchable until his mission is complete. Let me say that again for my other senior citizen brothers who may be a little hard of hearing there. A man under God's shield is untouchable until his mission is complete. A man who hides behind a shield of iron is still a man who fears. But a man who stands behind the shield of the Almighty is not hiding, he's advancing. Because the Lord's shield isn't made of wood, it isn't made of metal. It isn't fragile enough to be cracked by the things or the weight of man. It is living, it is present. It is the unshakable wall of the Most High Himself. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Do you understand what that means? Fearless men become unstoppable because they cannot be bribed by safety nor broken by threats. Just let that sink in. Though the enemy screams, "We will destroy you," the fearless soldier for Christ answers, "Do your worst, for I am already covered." The shield doesn't just protect your flesh and your spirit, but guards your faith when doubt strikes and refills your hope when despair crashes in. I've been there. It guards your soul when temptation whispers. And here's a secret: when you know the Lord is your shield, you stop worrying about survival and you start focusing on mission. The shield frees your hands to fight, frees your mind to plan, frees your heart to endure. And that is why men under God's shield do not just survive battles, they win them. While others are frozen in fear, God's people are moving forward under divine cover. So I will not bow to intimidation. I will not tremble before the threats of men. The Lord trains my hands for war, and His shield covers me in every fight. Let the enemy come. Let the storms rise. Let death itself rise before me. I will fear no man, for the Lord is my shield. I've seen men tremble at shadows. I've watched kings bow to fear, and I have buried brothers who let terror break them before steel ever touched their flesh. But I will tell you this, I will not join them, for the Lord is my shield, and a man who fights behind that shield is truly unmovable. Though an army camp against me, my heart shall not fear. The war arises against me, yet I will be confident. I have confidence, not in my skill, confidence not in my strength, but confidence in the one who commands the hosts of heaven against every enemy that rises against me. Whoever or whatever decides to face me, it must face Him first. Every plot designed to destroy me must pass through His divine fire. Every curse spoken against me, die at the edge of His presence. I am not untouchable because I am great. I'm untouchable because my God is greater. So let the ground quake with the march of enemy armies. Let the banners darken the horizon, and let the steel of their weapons catch the sun. I will not run, I will not hide, I will not bow, because I know the battle is not mine. The battle belongs to the Lord, and He is my shield, my strong tower, and my deliverer. No amount of fear can change one iota of a man who knows his name is in the Lord's book of life and whose death is already written by God's own hand. They cannot silence a man who speaks under the breath of heaven. They cannot stop a soldier who marches on the divine command. My brothers, my cousins, my sons, hear me now. The day you lay fear in the grave, you become the weapon hell cannot stop. You become the wall that does not fall. You become the warrior that does not retreat. And when my final battle comes, when my shield is lifted one last time, I will not face death with trembling lips. I will look into the eyes of darkness and declare, I fear no man, I fear no blade, and I fear no grave, for the Lord is my shield, and in his shadow I'm eternal. That's it for this message. You've got your spiritual chow. Pass it on to the next troop, next mission. Time now. See you on the other side.